Are you truly living your identity or just surviving? Hey, this is Stef, and welcome to the Together Moving Forward podcast. A podcast helping 2S LGBTQI plus people embrace self love and self respect so you can celebrate yourself with pride. In this episode, you'll discover why embracing your LGBTQ identity with pride can be an act of survival, not just self expression. How representation and chosen family shape identity, healing, and hope. How your lived experiences can become tools for growth, meaning, and change. Today's conversation is about embracing your LGBTQ identity with pride in a way that feels honest, safe, and sustainable. This episode will remind you that moving forward doesn't have to be rushed, it just has to be true to you. Hello again, I'm Stef and I'm a human being. Welcome back to the Together Moving Forward podcast. Embrace your 2S LGBTQI plus identity with pride through self love. No matter where you stand in the 2S LGBTQI plus spectrum, we are all connected. And if you ever struggle to fully love and respect yourself, you're not alone. And this podcast is here to help you. As someone who has navigated my own journey of self acceptance as a queer, I know the power of hearing voices that reflect our own experiences. In this podcast, you'll hear real stories and conversations that leave you with practical tools, fresh perspectives, and the confidence to embrace who you are with pride. To start, I need to say that I'm not a psychologist, a specialist, or someone with a college degree. I'm just a regular guy here to share with all of you and support each other. I'll share my journey, and we will all share our journeys together. We'll learn from each other how to move forward. In today's episode, I want to take a moment to slow things down and reflect together on episode 51 with Joanna M. Cifredo. Some conversations deserve space to breathe, to sink in, and to truly understand what they taught us. So, in this follow up episode, I want to share the three most important highlights from our conversation and explain them in simple words from my heart because this episode wasn't just inspiring, it was deeply human. Highlight number one: embracing your LGBTQ identity is an act of survival and pride. One of the strongest messages from episode 51 is this: embracing your LGBTQ identity is not just about self expression, it's about survival. Joanna showed us that when the world constantly tells us to shrink, hide, or disappear, choosing to exist fully becomes an act of pride. Not loud pride, not perfect pride, but honest pride. What really stayed with me is how she explained that there were moments in her life where she had to step back, protect herself, and even pause parts of her transition just to survive. And that doesn't make someone weak, it makes them brave. This taught me that pride doesn't always look the same. Sometimes pride looks like visibility, sometimes it looks like rest, and sometimes pride looks like doing whatever you need to do to stay alive until you're safe enough to be yourself again. Highlight number two: representation and chosen family truly save lives. Another powerful lesson from episode 51 is the importance of representation and chosen family. Joanna spoke beautifully about trans elders, trans mothers, and the people who came before us, the ones who opened doors we now walk through. She reminded us that many LGBTQ people survive not because of systems, but because of community. What really touched me is the idea that biological family can love you deeply, but they may not always know how to guide you through the world as an LGBTQ person. That's where chosen family comes in. Chosen family teaches us how to navigate rejection, how to build resilience, and how to imagine a future we were never shown growing up. This episode reminded me that seeing someone who looks like you, lives like you, and survives like you can completely change what you believe is possible for your own life. Highlight number three: your story can become a tool for change. The third major takeaway from episode 51 is this: your story matters, even the painful parts. Joanna shared experiences of homelessness, violence, loss, and systemic barriers. But she also showed us that those experiences didn't define her limits, they shaped her purpose. What I learned is that healing doesn't mean forgetting what happened. Healing means choosing what we do with what happened. Your story might not be ready to be shared today, and that's okay. But one day, your lived experience might help someone else feel less alone, less broken, and less invisible. And that alone makes your story powerful. So, if we bring these three highlights together, here's what this episode truly taught us: that embracing your LGBTQ identity is a journey, not a deadline. That community and representation can literally save lives. And that even our hardest experiences can become tools for healing and change. Episode 51 wasn't about perfection, it's about resilience, humanity, and moving forward together. I'm always looking for inspiring guests for the podcast, and I'd love to have you or someone you know share your journey with pride. The world needs your story, it has the power to change lives, and your voice matters. Please reach out and send me an email today. It is already time to say au revoir just for now. So please join me every Monday and Thursday for brand new episodes of the Together Moving Forward podcast and learn how to embrace your trans LGBTQI plus identity with pride through self love. If you enjoyed this podcast, be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode on how to love and respect yourself. And if you found this episode useful, share it with a friend or someone you know in our 2S LGBTQIA plus community so you can help them embrace self love. It might seem like a small gesture, but it truly makes a huge difference. Wherever you're from in the world, we are all connected. Remember, solidarity beats hate. The more we unite, the stronger we become. Because at the end of the day, we are all equally human and we all deserve the same rights. Before we close with our weekly positive thoughts, I want to tell you what this one personally means to me. I create my own definition of success and happiness. And after reflecting on Joanna's story, this sentence feels even more powerful because success doesn't always look like safety. Happiness doesn't always look like stability, and progress doesn't always look linear. Sometimes success is simply staying. Sometimes happiness is choosing yourself again. And sometimes defining your own life is the most radical thing you can do in a world that tried to define you first. So, wherever you are in your journey, remember this: you don't owe anyone a version of yourself that costs your peace. You get to decide what success and happiness look like in your body, your identity, and your life. Now is the time to put your head on your heart and repeat again, you and me together, this week positive thought. I create my own definition of success and happiness. Yeah, I create my own definition of success and happiness. From shame, guilt, silence, and rejection to pride, freedom, healing, and love, together moving forward. Thank you so much for being here with me today and for taking this moment to reflect with me. I truly appreciate it. See you real soon. Ciao. Subscribe now and share to uplift, empower, and make a real difference in our community.